You probably heard about the story about the police officer who accidentally drove into the river with a detainee in the back, and his body was recovered the next day. The bulletin of an on-duty death was sent to police departments across the country, and it was even posted in Florida. And of course, like most early reporting on police stories and police deaths, the media completely missed the fucking point. Tabitha Smith was 35 years old. She was a mother of 2 kids, was arrested earlier that night as part of a disturbance call for arguing too loudly and pissing off this rookie cop who had only been on the job in Tennessee for a month. The cop was texting his wife on his drive to the jail, bragging about his arrest, texting and driving when he drove off of the road into the river and killed both of them. Now, this woman wasn't some crazy person, not that it should matter, because she was restrained, handcuffed in the back of a police car and left there to die. The officer's window was rolled down and his body was found somewhere else in the river, but she was trapped in the back of the car and drowned to death. And none of the headlines are mentioning her name. Most of the headlines are just referring to her as a detainee or suspect who was arrested, not acknowledging her humanity at all. And it's a great fucking injustice because this guy, this arrogant rookie cop, drove off the road because he was texting and driving and murdered this woman. Now, if he had lived, he probably should have been charged with manslaughter, but wouldn't have been because, of course, that's how the Blue Shield works. But the media doing the fluffing is not something that is rare, but it's so disgusting when you think about how offensive that must be to this woman and her kids and her family. Arrested for arguing with someone too loudly, and it turned out to be a death sentence. And we shouldn't be covering the story that way. Tabitha Smith was the woman who was killed by a rookie police officer who was texting and driving, bragging about his first arrest. That's the story. That's the way that we should be telling this story, not mourning the man who killed her.